Pokémon, a franchise that took the world by storm and defined the childhoods of many. It has only gotten more popular with time, but what was Pokémon like way back then? More specifically, how has competitive Pokémon changed over the years for those striving to be the very best? Now that is exactly what we are here to find out. In this series, Jeexx and I will embark on an adventure to be the very best, exploring through time and space to rediscover Pokémon's past formats. In each episode, both of us will bring two teams and battle it out in a best of 3 match, and the one who wins with both teams first is crowned the champion of the episode. We hope you enjoy this trip to Pokemon's evolution with us. Welcome to the Pokemon Progression Series, A Journey Through Time. Generation 1, Red, Blue and Yellow, the spark that started the bonfire that would burn for decades with the first 151 Pokemon, was an absolutely unbalanced mess. Based in the Kanto region, which itself is based in the region of the same name in Japan, it saw the most powerful Pokemon that ever exist in Mewtwo, had some very interesting mechanics, and it was widely dominated by Psychic and Normal types. Notable features and differences when compared to modern Pokemon in Generation 1 were the following, and strapping this list is a doozy. Generation 1 had no held items or abilities, those would come later, and instead of the modern EVs and IVs, a DV mechanic with 15 max in each stat and no limitation or real reason to not have these all max was in place. Special is one single stat responsible for both offense and defense on the special side for the Pokemon, and no physical special split yet, and instead move type was defined by whether a move is physical or special, and the types can be seen on the screen right now. As already mentioned, Psychic and Normal were the king when it came to types of Pokemon, mostly due to a lack of good fighting type moves, as well as Psychic only being resisted by itself, having an immunity to Ghost instead of a weakness, and the complete absence of Dark in Generation 1. Other type related things include Bug and Poison hitting each other for super effective damage, Fire not resisting Ice, Ghost not resisting Bug, as well as the absence of the aforementioned Dark, as well as Steel, and obviously Fairy that would come way later. Generation 1 also had really wonky trap and status mechanics, where trapping and sleep both require a full turn to snap out of, and you can't use move on the turn that you snap out of it, and freeze you cannot be thawed out of unless hit with a fire type move that can inflict burn, and also there were some very clear bugs as well, like Body Slam not being able to paralyze normal types. Hyper Beam also had no recharge if it KO'd a Pokemon or hit a substitute, which made it an incredibly powerful move, and crit chance was based on the Pokemon speed stat instead of being the same random chance for everybody.
Guys and gals, welcome back to the Pokemon Progression Series, Episode 2. This time we're back with Generation 1, but we're going to be tackling the underused format, or UU for short. And I did realize last time that my breakdown was extremely long. I don't want them to be that long. I would prefer them to be around 5 minutes for this series. And I feel like I didn't add too much in my extra yapping there. So we're going to make it simpler. And this time when I say I'm making a change, I don't want to take 20 episodes to make that change. But yeah, the first team that we're going to be bringing in today is, I'm just calling it the Threats. It's basically just 6 Pokemon that I think are just really good here, and we have Haunter with Hypnosis, Thunderbolt, Nightshade, and Explosion threatening anything that tries to hit us, and then obviously having an immunity to normal is pretty neat. Although like all the Taurus like Snorlax stuff, obviously we don't have to deal with, but they're still like pretty good normal types, as we'll see with the other team in the tier as well. Tentacool, incredible stat spread if you look at this, like having 120 special with 100 speed and access to Blizzard, Surf, and a trapping move and rest. Extremely good. Then we have Kadabra, Psychic, Counter, Recover, Thunder Wave. So instead of having a Seismic Toss here, I put in Counter for Kadabra, because if you're eating a physical move on Kadabra, you're probably just one-shotting them back with counter. Unfortunately, it's only for normal and fighting type moves, but that's still going to be a lot. I feel like normal is still a very spammable type. Something like Body Slam is going to be very spammable, so being able to one-shot something with Kadabra is neat. And obviously, not a fully evolved Pokemon just like Haunter, but because of how Special worked in Generation 1, like this is still an incredible stat spread once again. So just a budget Alakazam basically we have in UU. Dugtrio, one of the fastest mons here, so access to Earthquake, Rock Slide, Slash coming from a 120 base speed mon, like having an incredibly high crit rate, and they'd be able to put on a sub as well. Like obviously with our defenses, like this sub is gonna break on a single hit from anything, but basically we can revenge kill something with this. That's really nice. Or if we're switching into a electric move, for example, and Jeexx needs to switch out and we're setting up a sub, then the chances of him switching into something that's faster than a Dugtrio, very low, which means we get 2 free moves at that point, which is really good. Dugtrio, another really fast mon, once again, like really good attack stat as well. Having access to substitute as well. So body slam, drill peck, hyper beam, just a bunch of powerful moves coming from stab, really good. And then we have a second boomer in Golem with Explosion, Body Slam, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. So in basically the same set that I ran on Rhydon last time, but just Explosion instead of Substitute. Golem is slightly faster, but obviously way less attack, but still an incredible defensive wall, and having access to Explosion is really good, being able to deal with basically anything that we don't want to deal with for our first team. But there are no like really defined roles other than like I said, like having a revenge killer and having a dedicated defensive wall. But like stuff like Kadabra and Tentacruel both have really good special defenses. Even Haunter, honestly, really good. But the issue with like Haunter and Kadabra is their HP stat, whereas Tentacruel obviously has almost double of theirs. As for the second team, I just called it double trap. So we realized last time how insane the trap mechanics are in Generation 1. I already knew they were like insane from my research before. I did not know that stuff goes to substitute. So yeah, we're upping the count. You already saw that I have Wrap on Tentacruel in the first team. Here we have Dragonite with Wrap, and then Tangela with Bind, and also Tangela has double powders here. In addition to having Wrap, we put Body Slam, Blizzard, and Thunderwave on Dragonite. Thunderwave was initially Agility, but apparently that is banned. The combination of Wrap and Agility is banned, which honestly, I can see why. So instead, like, just went for Thunderwave, because obviously if you're something slower than you and you wrap them, GG's. Then speaking of those like powerful normal types, we have here Persian, Bubble Beam slash Body Slam Thunderbolt did not have good coverage, so we just have Bubble Beam here in case like Jeexx has something like a Golem that we can't hit otherwise, so this to hit something like Golem. But 115 speed, stab slash with high crit rate, it's gonna hit insanely hard when it crits, and it's gonna crit a lot. And then we have Kangashkan, kind of our budget Tauros with like slightly lower stats, but still a good coverage with Body Slam, Hyper Beam, Earthquake, Blizzard. I think this is the exact set that I also ran on my Tauros. So this is just our new Tauros here. And then, like I said, like Tangela is here to spread status as well as the traps. And then we have a dedicated special wall here in Vaporeon with Surf, Blizzard, Body Slam, and Rest. Finally, we also have an electric type here in Electabuzz with Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Psychic, and Seismic Toss. So really good coverage with the moves here, but and a non-fully evolved Pokemon once again. But honestly, really good stats overall. So yeah, the issue here still for me is like having like dedicated roles and finding balance. Basically how I'm building my teams right now, I'm looking at, okay, what am I like afraid of in the tier, and obviously a little bit looking at stuff in the below tier, but like 90% of my progress here is just alright, let me try to combat as many of these mons as I can, and that's my team building philosophy for now. But yeah, those are going to be the two teams that we're bringing today. It'll be interesting to see what Jeexx is running, because we're recording this in a few hours from me recording this, depending on Jeexx does. But I hope you enjoyed the, almost a deck breakdown, the team breakdowns, and we will see you after Jeexx in the battlefield. So see you then. Bye. Once again, want to say peace. Please don't leave it.
Okay, so we're doing Gen 1 UU, I think? Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's UU. Yeah, underused. Yeah. We're running Vaporeon, Electro, Charizard, Dugtrio, Haunter, and Hypno for the first team. with Toxic Acid Armor and Rest and Surf on a Vaporeon with the intention of being a Toxic as fuck lead, where I just pop Toxic on turn 1, pop Acid on turn 2, and then go from there. Hope that Weebfox has to switch on turn 1 so that the Toxic goes off without a hitch, hopefully, and then pop Acid Armor for turn 2, or see what he switches into and then switch out depending on what happened. And then just hope that the Toxic actually does work. Rest and Acid Armor, mostly because Acid Armor, I'm pretty sure, it raised defense, which means that I can cover for like the lower defensive stat that I actually have, and I can use that to try to kind of wall both kinds of Pokemon. And this time I have Surf, because last time I was not playing offensive moves on my defensive Pokemon, because I was just like, it doesn't matter, it's not gonna deal damage. Then we have Electrode. Electrode has a screen for reducing physical damage, Reflect specifically. Thunderbolt, Thunderwave. Thunderwave, because it's super fast, it's going to be able to set Thunderwave like against anything in this entire game. There's no Pokemon in this format that is faster than Electrode. There is nothing that is faster than this. So I think this is the perfect Pokemon to give Thunderwave on. And then, of course, Thunderwave then makes it so that I can possibly pull out some bullshit. Then we have Thunderbolt, obviously, for damage, and Explosion, because I think Explosion, as Weebfox explained last time, can be a really devastating move, because I didn't realize that it does that. It reduces like your opponent's defense to half, and it has 107 base power. That's insane. That's wild. Morbin. Orange Cat Run, yeah, exactly. Then we have Charizard with Flamethrower, Sword Stance, EQ, and Hyper Beam. Now, the idea with having Sword Stance and EQ is that I am going to swap out of probably like Pokemon that are weak to ground into Charizard, right? And like, let's say, well, not even like weak to ground, but let's say I make a read on something. I have Electrode out, and now Weebfox is gonna pop EQ. I get to switch into Charizard for free. And now he has, let's say, Golem or Graveler on board. I get to pop an EQ for essentially free. It's not gonna do that much damage, but I'm pretty sure 2x weakness should be enough. And considering Charizard is 4x weak to Rock, it's not gonna be that great to have out against like Golem or Graveler, because those things can just fucking kill it. And there's also the threat of getting exploded on because of Golem. But I still feel like Sword Stance EQ can be really scary, especially if I proactively switch into Charizard myself and just like make a hard call on, you gotta switch into one of these. And now he switches into his Golem or his Graveler, and then I just EQ after Sword Stancing, and it maybe kills. I didn't do calcs, I didn't do anything. It maybe kills. If it kills, I'm a fucking genius. If it doesn't kill, I'm a fucking genius for trying it. Then we have a Dugtrio, which has EQ / Rock Slide Body Slam, just purely offensive, super fast, goes ham, has Stab Earthquake, has Rock Slide, because it was one of the few Pokemon that could learn Rock moves, and Rock is really strong in UU, because UU doesn't have that many Pokemon that are resistant to it, but also a lot of Pokemon that are weak to it. Slash is also apparently really good, because of a high crit rate, right? It goes through defensive buffs. Then we have Haunter, because Haunter seemed like a fairly good choice. It's a ghost type. Ghost types only like two in the format right now, and Gengar isn't available. So Thunderbolt, Confuse Ray, Hypnosis, Mega Drain. These things I think are gonna be really strong. For example, let's say I have a Pokemon out that I don't want to take a fighting move. I can switch into Haunter, or like a normal type move. I can switch into Haunter to paint that, and now Weebfox has to maybe swap into, I don't know, Groudon, not Groudon, Rhydon is in the format, a Rhyhorn, or Nidoking, Nidoqueen, or anything with the sort, like any kind of ground type. I can then pop Mega Drain on the hopefully 4x weak. There's also Omastar and Kabutops that are 4x weak to grass type moves, and I think that's gonna make the Mega Drain really potent here. And also Confuse Ray and Hypnosis are really annoying to deal with, and Thunderbolt is, that's just, I don't have that much electric coverage, so I think it'll be good. Then Hypno with Hypnosis, Psychic, Counter, and Thunderwave. I'm still debating on the counter. I mostly just picked it here because I was like, well, normal type moves are what I'm probably going to be getting hit by the most, right? Normal type moves are just going to be flying out, so I'm just going to use this to maybe swing for the fences. We'll see. This is like a last minute edition, essentially. Like this is the one that I was thinking about the most, and I didn't even have a sixth Pokemon in here until I was like, fuck it, I just need to add something. I'm gonna put a Psychic type in. Originally, this was a Kadabra. Like that was one of the things that I was thinking about running a Kadabra, because Kadabra seemed like this would be better overall. But this is a little bulkier, and I think that bulk is gonna be somewhat relevant. And then for Team 2, we have Tangela, Lapras, Gyarados, Golem, Ninetales, and Dragonite. Let me just double check that I don't accidentally have 2 Gyarados in here. No, I don't. Yeah, so Tangela with the set of Sleep Powder, Growth, Substitute, Mega Drain. Originally, I was running Swords Dance, Hyper Beam instead of Growth and Mega Drain, but after thinking about it a bit more, Growth is a double value, like, it gives me double value. It gives me special defense, and it also gives me it gives me more damage on Mega Drain, and Mega Drain gives me more healing, and depending on what Weebfox pulls out, the 4x weakness on grass can be really relevant, right? Originally, like there was a meme here, essentially. It was I do Sleep Powder, SD, fucking Hyper Beam, and just try to kill shit. But this might actually be better. Like, this might actually work out. Lapras, Body Slam, Thunderbolt, Blizzard, Confuse Ray. Confuse Ray mostly just because, like, if I pull it out, I can just pop it and pray that my opponent hits themselves, and then I can just go from there. Paralyze them maybe with Body Slam, do a bit of Parafusion stuff, or even, like, Confuse Ray into Blizzard and maybe freeze them. Thunderbolt, again, paralyzes, and because Body Slam can't paralyze normal types, Thunderbolt seemed like a good alternative. I am not running any water type moves on this, which might come to bite me in the ass, but at the same time, I have my Gyarados here with Blizzard, Surf, Hyper Beam, and Fire Blast. Blizzard, because like that might actually play a big part, because there's 4x weaknesses to that, and there's grass types that I can play, like Tangela, for example. I also have Fire Blast for that. Both of those being special kind of sucks. I wish there was another one that I could be running that I could actually deal damage to, like grass types that's physical. Then we have Hyper Beam for physical move, obviously, and then Surf for stab. And Surf is obviously there to check like ground rock, ground types, all that. Golem, Explosion, Rock Slide, EQ, Body Slam. Just fucking kill them. Just murder them. Slaughter. Then we have Ninetales with Confuse Ray, Flamethrower, Substitute, Reflect for Confuse Ray. Like, if Will-O-Wisp isn't out yet, right? Will-O-Wisp is not out. Confuse Ray instead of Will-O-Wisp into, like, Reflect, or so just set screens, Confuse Ray, Substitute, Flamethrower, so on and so forth. This is, like, just intended to be a support Pokemon with a chance to burn using Flamethrower. And then we have Dragonite here with Thunderbolt, Body Slam, Hyper Beam, Blizzard. Mostly just really strong sweepers, I would say. Like Pokemon that I'm intending to try to kill Weebfox with. Last week we were here with the intent of, I am going to do this thing that I thought was funny, and I am going to try to execute it. This time we're here to kill folks. Just praise to a slaughter or something. Lambs to a slaughter, that's the saying. But yeah, good luck with the games.
Ladies and lads, welcome back to the second episode of the Pokemon Progression series, this time with Generation 1 Underused. And I am way less confident about this time, because I can't just use mons that I've heard mentioned in passing, so this will be interesting. What about you, Jeexx? How you feeling?
I cooked. That's how I feel.
I'm excited.
I went into the kitchen and I was like, I'm gonna make some shit. And then I made some shit.
I'm excited to see that. You did say that your breakdown was way longer than last time, so that's, that's a good
This
omen.
time it wasn't just, I put Snorlax in because Snorlax is the best Pokemon in Gen 1, and Tauros in because Tauros is the best Pokemon in Gen 1, and Chansey in because Chansey is the best Pokemon in Gen 1, and I put this in because it's the second best Pokemon in Gen 1, It's very different.
Now all the best ones are in the upper tier that we can't use. So, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, I had something that I wanted to say before we get started, but I forgot. So maybe it'll come to me later, and then I can say it, or maybe not, and we'll just live without it. But regardless, once again, both of us have 2 teams, and we will play a maximum of 3 games, and we'll see how this goes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I don't know if this was the one that the thing that I wanted to remember, but remember that the first mon in your team is sent out first, and you don't get to pick. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay, you took that into consideration. Perfect.
Yeah.
In that case,
I have already.
I guess I will throw you a challenge for Generation 1. You. If I can. Oh, it's the highlighted spotlight. Never mind. I will send you a challenge, and we will get started. So I will once again hear from you after we're done with the match. So best of luck to you, gamer.
Best of luck.
And let me deafen here. There we go. All right, so we can't hear Jeexx, and Jeexx can't hear us, and we will get started with this. Like I said, I feel way less confident about this one, but we will see how this goes. And I guess I should have... Okay, there we go. So starting with Vaporeon, we have Haunter. This is not a great matchup, but we do have Thunderbolt here. And I am not sure what he would have to threaten us with. He's most likely changing to something. Oh yeah, let me start a timer so I don't cheat and think of stuff. I don't think we want to go for any sort of a... do we want to go for a prediction turn 1? I don't think so. Yeah, we'll just start with a critical hit. And yes, I guess he predicted us to swap out. And I don't think this kills from this, but he is definitely changing, but we don't want to... This thing gets rest, right? If he uses rest, we can just stick in and spam Thunderbolt, though. I don't think he's going for rest. He's definitely switching, but I don't think I want to predict the switch by going a hard switch myself. Okay, that's fine. And I don't think he might be going for Hypnosis here. The issue here is that I actually don't have the best ways to deal with Hypno, I will not lie. I actually don't have good ways to deal with this thing. I'm faster, and I don't think I die to Hypnosis. Not Hypnosis. Yeah, I definitely don't die here. I wonder if Thunderbolt does more. I honestly am thinking of booming on this. We'll go Thunderbolt. Okay, it's less. Did he go for a Thunder Wave? Now, is he gonna sit up here? I could boom, but this thing is actually a really big problem for my team. It could also be setting up. The issue is if I explode here and it rests, then we're in trouble. But I think he will be attacking. If we get paralyzed, then it's really bad. But I do think I will boom here. Yeah, we don't die, please. Okay. Okay, I'm sure the crit didn't matter there. So that's perfectly fine for us. We trade 1 for 1. We get some damage on Vaporeon. Now the issue here is, what do we go for next? We do have a couple subbers. We could go for this and go for a wrap. I think the safest play is probably Dugtrio. We go Dugtrio here. Let's see. The biggest thing about Generation 1 that's scary to me is like you not having the knowledge on what they could have. He doesn't know what I have, so I wonder, should I? No, we'll still go Dugtrio here. If he goes into electric type though, I mean, we can swap into this. He's not going back into... No, we'll actually go Tentacle. Okay, he did go into an electric type, and an electric type that's faster than us. Now, I don't think he would predict this, because we have... Are we faster? No, this is faster than everything, but it's extremely frail. So... Okay, the question is, which one do I swap into? We'll go Dugtrio, I think. No?
Yeah, we'll go Golem, actually. I might have a flyer, but I don't feel comfortable enough like making that call here, like predicting it. So I think a flyer still isn't gonna hit us that hard, so we will just go for Earthquake. And he does have this. Okay, that's fine, because now the thing here is, what is that gonna do to us? Yeah, and now it dies. Yeah. There another crit, but that crit didn't matter. It's a 4x super effective move. So I think the only crit that has mattered thus far was for this. All right, now the question is, what is this thing doing to us? Nothing it can do can kill, and Hypnosis is only 60%. So I actually think I'm going to stay in an Earthquake. Oh, it has Mega Drain. Okay, I don't think this kills. Okay, it does, because it's Honor. That's really good. I think we still want to have this to sack it. Okay, he has Dugtrio. I could have a Slash. Slash wouldn't kill us here. And he could predict with an Rock Slide. I don't think I need this thing, though, is the thing, because we had Dugtrio for Electrode. So I think I'd rather, honestly, sack this thing. If he goes for a Rock Slide, predicting a switch, yeah. Oh, okay. Without a crit, that wouldn't have killed. So I guess at least now both of us have gotten a crit that mattered. The issue here is that this thing is really, really good against us. I think, do we go for the speed tie afterwards? Because this thing doesn't die to Earthquake, I don't think. This thing is slower and he has Rock Slide, so honestly, is my best bet just going for a speed tie? I don't think so. Because we need this one for Electrode, and we can beat, yeah, I don't need Abracadabra here, and he won't die to any one thing. So I think I'd rather go into this and just click Psychic, hope for a special drop, because nothing he does can one-shot us, even with a crit. So we're gonna lose Kadabra here. I think that could matter. Bro, these crits, I think we got more crits than not crits. But that crit definitely mattered. There's no way that kills without it. Calculator. Let me see. I'll pull this up for later use. But I'm pretty sure that crit definitely mattered. And I think like that's gonna be game now. That's perfectly fine. There's going to be nothing he can do to our Dugtrio here. So we just go this and we click Earthquake. He's going to hit us with something, but it's not going to kill us. And yeah, this dies to Earthquake anyway. This doesn't matter. Crit mattered, but we would have been faster anyway. So he switches into that. It goes very low. And then afterwards we click Earthquake again. So basically it didn't matter. But we have still gotten two very important crits here, which is the initial crit on Vaporeon, and then the crit on this thing with the Psychic. So definitely my luck has been insane. But that obviously didn't matter, but yeah. Okay. Didn't even kill. Alright, but yeah, Gen 1 Grid Mechanics, really fun. Anyways, let me challenge him again. We will switch our teams, and we will instead go for this one called Double Trap. And what did I have as my lead? Okay. Don't like this position. So the question is he's probably going for bind, would be my question here. But the thing is, what do I want to get binded? Because basically nothing. But this is faster afterwards. My issue is if he goes for a powder and sleeves my Dragonite, then we're in big trouble. But I still think we're going for Dragonite. Also, I forgot the timer. Okay, well, it missed anyway. Bro, I have been so lucky here. Do I go Wrap here? Predicting a switch, or do I just go for Blizzard? I think I predict the switch here. Yeah. Okay, and then we will continue. It is 2 other agents to 2 to 5 turns, so it's at least once more. And then when I swap, then he gets to do stuff. But my issue is I don't have great ways of dealing with this, but I will switch here. And he missed, brother. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. But he's probably going to have Golem. Yeah, I was going to say, like, he's probably going to have Golem, but I'm not going to risk a prediction here. He can hurt us a lot here with Boom. If he booms on this, that's fine. I think Vaporeon is going to be more useful for me. So I will go for Tangela here. Because, like, even Mega Drain doesn't do a lot, but even then, like, he's not going to be able to stay in here. And if he booms, I would want to Mega Drain, but I think we will go for a bind, predicting a switch. If he booms, I think I'm fine with that as well. So, okay. We missed the bind. This thing does have Blizzard, but the Blizzard doesn't do that much damage is the thing. I think I'm fine. I would rather take the Blizzard than swap, so we will go for a Sleep Powder. He might also predict a swap. We've been swapping a lot. So I think Sleep Powder is pretty safe. Obviously only a 75% chance to hit, but still, he does hit it, and he does get a crit. We got him very lucky though, so can't be too bummed about that one. And we will go for this one. Now the question is, I do want to see how reserved he's playing, because he might make a prediction here that I'm predicting the Golem, but we will still go for a Thunderbolt, because we're also doing conditioning here. If this sequence comes up one more time, then we can double back in this situation when he goes for Golem. We can double back into Vaporeon because he doesn't know we have a Vaporeon. So I want to actually save the Vaporeon knowledge for now, if at all possible. But I feel like he's going for relatively safe predictions. So, but I feel like me swapping, yeah, there we go. I feel like me swapping in, like me predicting him going into Golem is so obvious there that I would rather just go for the, like, this is the obvious play, I will go for it. Because he will think that I go into something predicting Golem. So yeah. Now this thing will go for another Sleep Powder. And the question there is, we still want to go for this. Now the thing is, how much value is putting this thing to paralysis for us? And I think, honestly, not too bad, because it can also disrupt the bind. So honestly, I'm pretty sure he will go for Sleep Powder, but I will Thunder Wave here. I want to see what he's going for. Well, it doesn't matter. Now the question is, will he stay in with this? This thing doesn't really threaten us either. So honestly, I think I'll stay in and Seismic Toss. I'm predicting him to stay in though. And we could go for, actually, don't go for this thing. He wouldn't swap to Lapras here. He will actually go for Dragonite. I think that's better. The issue is, if he sleeps our Dragonite, like, we're in big fucking trouble. And that's what I'm worried for. Okay. Now the thing here is, we will still stay in. I don't really have a good switch in. We will stay in, hope for a one-turn sleep, and we'll go for a wrap. Obviously, we can't attack on the turn we swap, but this is still, you know. We do have a slug Pokemon now, so. But I'm assuming this is going to be the same set, Tangela set, as I had, which is Bind, Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, and Mega Drain. Because I feel like Tangela doesn't have that much stuff here. Okay, we did get the one-turn sleep, and we are faster than this thing. Now the question is, do we risk hitting this move? And does he predict our swap? If I stay in here, I explode. I could stay in and also paralyze this thing and set up for a potential sweep for this thing. But is it worth it? And I don't think so. The issue here is that this thing is so tanky. I'll go for Kangaskhan. Does he? I don't. Yeah. I don't. I think it's just Blizzards. I don't think he's predicting here when I last think. Confuse Ray. Interesting. I don't know how often that hits, but we'll just click Body Slam here. I think it's 30% chance to proc, just like Paralysis. But we're gonna snap out of it eventually. He might be like Confuse Ray and Body Slam. Confuse Ray, Blizzard, Body Slam, and Rest probably. Let's get a pair. Perfect. Okay, 56%. He will be clicking that again. Now the thing is, how much is Kangaskhan gonna do for us? Currently, out of the stuff that we know, like, this thing is paralyzed, so I'm not too worried about it, and we can deal with it with this. What would be his other 2 mons, is what I'm thinking. He used Honor already. There's definitely Kadabra. And yeah, I think for Kadabra, I would like to save this for. But yeah, this Lapras is definitely a problem. The Paralysis helps. But how much is Blizzard doing us here? It's actually really annoying for my team here. He might get parried too. Do we just stay in and then get a save swap into this thing? And then do something there? It doesn't even do much for us though, is my issue. We'll just stay in. I don't have a good switch in, and I feel like I would lose more there. But like one of these 2, I'm pretty sure is gonna be Kadabra. Big crit. We do get killed here, but now we can revenge kill this thing. Now, the thing here is, what do we go into? This is the easy swap. After that, he just goes Golem. We go this thing, because Slash is guaranteed kill, and I think he thinks he's going to have a save swap into Golem here. And then we'll hit him with the Bubble Beam. Obviously doesn't do a lot with our special, but I don't think he expects it, and it's still a quadruple effective. So he might stay in and risk going for a, what's his face? Actually, does Body Slam guaranteed kill? Let me see, Persian versus Slash is a guaranteed kill. Okay, here we go for Slash. Yeah. That's fine. Should be a crit. Yeah, that's gonna like crit every time. And we are awake, but we don't have good switch-ins into this is the issue. If he sleeps us, it's bad again. But the thing here is that this is going to be Kadabra and something. Like, I just don't know what the last one is. I'm sure one of them is Kadabra, and we need Vaporeon healthy for that. And he does hit another sleep. So we definitely got very lucky in the first one. So, like, makes sense he's not getting paired and is hitting these sleeps, because it is just, you know. That's how the cookie crumbles. The issue here is that I don't remember what he had in the first team. Okay, brings this thing out. That's fine. It's gonna Rock Slide. It might actually boom. I unfortunately don't have a good switch in if it booms, but it doesn't kill me. It would put us really low is the issue, but I don't have a good swap in even if it booms. So we will just stay in a Blizzard. He probably booms here. Interesting. We'll just click Blizzard again. He might swap into Lapras, but Lapras is paralyzed and it's so low. So I think the correct play here is staying and so sack it. Okay, he does go into this thing, which is faster than us. But I think this here now, because this is going to be Kadabra. We're in a really good position with Vaporeon. He doesn't know we have Vaporeon, but I think this is when we reveal it, and we will just click Surf here. Another Confuse Ray, interesting. So he's playing a lot around hacks, but we will click Surf here. He's probably going to swap into, Tangela, makes sense. We do get the hit. Tangela, once again going for sleep, but it's once again 75% chance. We go Dragonite again. He might double back, but doubling back, like, that's still perfectly fine. But an interesting team. Like, a lot, he's kind of funny that how many hacks like we got in the game 1. And okay, predicted us to stay in. He's definitely switching out here, so I think the correct play is actually to go into Wrap instead of Blizzard, because that's the safe play. Blizzard, would Blizzard even kill this thing? Probably not. We'll go Wrap. Because he's definitely swapping into something. And I mean, his hits, the 75% chance, Sleep Powder twice in a row, hasn't gotten parried in 3 turns. So, you know, I think we're due for a hit. This is fine. We do hit the Wrap. I don't think this thing has a lot to hit us, honestly. So I think I will stay in here. And, we'll continue hitting the Wrap, and I think like we'll go for Body Slam. Then after the attack is done, actually, do I go for another Wrap instead? But we'll continue here. Not doing a lot of damage, but you know, it's still free damage that we're getting. I'll go for another Wrap actually. Yeah. Okay, he hits the Confuse Ray. Do we get the Wrap? We do get the Wrap. Now, I don't know how this works with Confusion. I won't lie. I think it checks it every time. Okay, well, it didn't matter. And then we definitely go for Body Slam. So I'm guessing he doesn't have a move to hit us. And that's why he's going for a Confuse Ray here. But this is a really well-constructed team. Like having the... Water, Fire, Grass Core here as well. But this is definitely, like, I'm 99% sure this is Kadabra. Probably a setup Kadabra. Oh, it is his own Dragonite. Interesting. We have Wrap. I think we go for... We have a Blizzard user. We have this with Blizzard as well. So honestly, he's going to hit us with Blizzard. But I think after the Wrap is done... If I Thunder Wave this thing, we should be set. Yeah. If we Thunder Wave this thing... Actually, is it slower than everything we have anyway? No, this thing needs to be slower than Vaporeon. So after the Wrap is done, I need to hit it with the Thunder Wave. So we will go for Thunderbolt. Oh, he predicted. I see. Okay, this is really good for us. Because now he could swap into something. I think the safe play here is to go into another Wrap, actually. Oh, and he forfeits. Okay, I don't think there was a way for him to win anyway, so that does make sense. But GG's. GG's, gamer. That game 1 was quite a few crits.
I'm gonna say that I cannot say the things that I want to say because I am live on air. And they cannot be cut out live on air.
I will say though, I did do some calcs, and I'm pretty sure only 2 of those mattered, but it's still funny that I got more crits than non-crits.
I'm gonna be for real. I don't give a fuck how much they mattered.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care about how much the crits mattered.
We're playing Pokemon.
And also, after that, game 2, literally every fucking thing possible goes your way. I get confusion. Oh, I Sleep Powder. Oh, it misses. Oh, I Sleep Powder. Oh, you wake up turn 1 twice. Okay. Well, turn 2, I guess. Sorry. Maximum, like minimum turns, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I use Confusion. It doesn't trigger a single time. It doesn't trigger a single time. I get paralyzed immediately, and I get paralyzed proc immediately.
Yeah, the para was, what, 30%? Para and Confusion, I think, are both 30%. So you got parried once, and I didn't get confused once, so...
I also got paralyzed from a Body Slam.
Yeah.
You're ignoring the reality of the fact that I also got paralyzed from a Body Slam.
I do know.
By a single Body Slam.
Yes, which is also 30%.
Yeah, but like, it's... The compounding amounts of shit is what I'm talking about.
Yep. That's Pokemon for you.
I don't even care how poorly I played in this. I am simply sitting here staring at my screen thinking to myself, I got shafted at every single opportunity other than not getting frozen by Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time that a random occurrence could happen, it happened essentially.
Most of the times, yes. But yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
Pokemon for you. I mean, that's also why there's nothing decided like, okay, winner or so get something, because especially Gen 1 is so RNG. Especially with like a lot of stuff like the trapping moves and stuff like sleep powders and shit like that also being like 75% accurate, which is really bad. So... You weren't using Kadabra, which I was really surprised by.
I was originally planning on using Kadabra, but then I just figured I'm gonna use Hypno just in case I run into a situation where I would rather swap into Hypno.
Fair, fair. I was so sure in this like last game, like I was constantly like, okay, he's saving his last one. I swear this last Pokemon is gonna be a Kadabra, but it was not. It was not. I like my honest reaction into GG's.
Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Bro crit 7 times in game 1. What are the odds of critting 7 times in game 1, guys? Guys, can you do the calcs real quick? How low of a likelihood is it critting that many times?
What were the mons in my first team? Cause
You didn't have anyone with Slash.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
No?
the speed stat. It's Haunter and Dugtrio. No, what were the crits? I got a crit from Kadabra. Haunter got 1 crit. Golem crit is actually, what's his speed? Because Golem speed is 188. I'm not sure what that would be. I know that the likelihood of Slash from a Persian critting, I think, is like 58%, because it's based on the speed stat. So the like crits from Haunter and what's his face, Doctor, like they're probably around 20%, if I had to guess. I'll be honest, I do not know, but the like Golem getting the crit was definitely like one of the two that really mattered. I think like that crit mattered a lot, and then the very first Thunderbolt from Haunter on your Vaporeon critting, I think those were the 2 crits that really actually mattered. But I definitely did get very fortunate, and I did also say that I got extremely lucky with my crit rolls. So I'm definitely not denying that. But that's Pokemon for you.
Guys, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon.
That's how it be. That's how it be. But I guess let me end this thing. Did you enjoy team building for this more or less than for OU?
I don't care.
Nice.
I'm out. I'm
All
out.
right. That's fair. So yeah.
See ya.
Yes, see ya. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Sometimes the cookie crumbles this way, and sometimes we get big RNG fests. Probably a lot more, honestly, because it is Pokemon, and especially the first couple of generations with how tanky everything is, will turn into at some point crit fishing, and especially like with how the accuracy works. I can't wait for a game to be decided with a 99.61% move missing, and that decides the game, because it's gonna happen at some point. But yeah, I think it is warranted and deserved for Jeexx to be a little bit salty, so please forgive him. And we'll be back next week for NU. Yes. Because RU isn't a thing yet, I don't think. Let me check. Yes, we'll be back next week. Yes, I think, yes. But next time for Never Used in Generation 1, which will be another set of random shenanigans that we are looking forward to, ain't that right, Jeexx? Aren't you happy that you proposed this series? But yeah, no, we will let the man grieve, and hopefully we'll be back next time for a little bit less of an RNG fest, so we can be both happy after the set is done. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching. We will see you next time. Have a great one, y'all, and peace.